Okay, as you know, if you're a subscriber and you watched last week, you know I was looking for that dress pattern and fabric in my stash to throw together a Valentine's dress because my husband's taking me on a date and I wanted to look pretty. And maybe I want to look a little sexy, and at 58, sometimes that's a little bit hard to pull off. So, I picked up this fabric, I think probably a couple months ago at Joann on the Last Chance Fabrics. Let's see, it is kind of a shimmer, got almost like a metallic little dot printed on it, and the underside is just like a nylon-y, but it's soft, it's really soft. So I picked up this fabric and I had it in my stash for a couple months. And then I had picked up Simplicity 8835. And this is this pattern right here. Now, this pattern is shown with kind of just like a t-shirt knit. It has the options of a long sleeve with elastic, a long sleeve with a cuff. I was really liking the way it looked like there was a really full bust to it because I do have a measurement of a 42-inch double D bust. But then my waist is much smaller, and then I have wider hips. And so I was really looking for something that would give me that hourglass figure, not restrict the chest area, be really easy to take in a size smaller in the waist and all that. So this is what I decided to try, and it was an experiment. Now, I have to say, So Lovely with Grace, Grace from So Lovely with Grace, she has her word for this whole year of 2025 is fearless. And in the sewing room, she's been trying things that are kind of a little bit outside her comfort zone, maybe. And so she inspired me to step outside of my like girly little floral prints and go with this fabric and this pattern put together. And do you want to see what it turned out to be like? Well, stick around. Now, this pattern it looks really simple, and it does say that it's easy. It's like a learn to sew knits easy. But there are some techniques in it that take a little bit more, I don't know, sewing practice, I'd say. So one of them is that you do use like part of the pattern as a blotter underneath the bust line. So you actually copy a strip of pattern underneath the bust line, and then you actually sew on the pattern tissue after you've gathered this to make it stay in one place so it doesn't stretch. The other feature is that underneath the bust line and on the whole neckline, you use a very narrow elastic in the seam allowance, and that gives the structure to the garment, and it also gives like the ability to turn it under evenly and everything like that. So my dress, I'm going to give my dress probably, I think the pattern is, you know, an 8.5. The fit on me, you'll have to be the judge, but I'm kind of, we'll see. I might wear it, but then again, I might not. So here is the garment that I made. This is in a size large. You can see how neatly the edge folds around the elastic piece that's in there. It doesn't have a lot of give, but it does have a little give without snapping stitching. I did use a stretch needle, and you can see on the bias edge here, it's very nice and straight. It does have you sew this bit right here. There's a little tiny seam in the V right here that you sew. I took it out because my V kept twisting, and I plan to just do a little hand tack today right there. And you'll see when I put it on, it's a little bit lower than I want. I'm just going to tack a little tack just to hold those two pieces together flush rather than trying to seam them and they keep twisting. This pattern has the sleeve and the bodice are all one piece, which makes a seam down the sleeve. I chose to do the cuff, and the back of it also has a gathered on skirt back. You put the front and the back skirt onto the bodice, and then you sew the seam, the under seam and the skirt all in one piece. I did end up taking in the waistline quite a bit, about 2 inches in the waist after the garment was made, which, yeah, that everything was, it's pretty good. It's just not the perfect fit. So given the fabric that I'm working with and given my body shape, I would say that this pattern turned out pretty good for me. Overall, I really do love the look of the plunging neckline. I love the big sleeves. They are a little bit long, but I made the decision not to shorten them because they're part of the bust line. When I put my hands up or do anything, they do tend to pull up. So shortening them would kind of change the look a lot. Because I did take it in at the waistline, there is a little bit of puckering there, but it looks better than it did before I took it in. So you can see coming from the bust line down, there is like kind of like a pull. Not sure how to remedy that, but I will be wearing my white fur coat with it, and I think it'll look stunning. With that, there will be cold here, so, and I also think my husband will like it. He'll like the front of it and the plunging neckline. So I think that I accomplished what I wanted, and I'm overall very happy with the look of this dress. What do you think? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I would just love to hear your feedback on the Valentine's dress. If you have any tips or tricks for me on how to make it fit better in the front, I would love to hear it. Please like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber of mine, please join me. I would love to connect with you, and I would love to hear all about your sewing adventures as well. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day. Bye!